there's been some new information apparently that we might actually hear about the new Switch, the next console, whatever you want to call it, next month in March. Um, and like people have been hearing, GDC is apparently a place that could happen, the Game Developer Conference. So that you could see that. Like also, it could be a case where like there was that rumor last last year where, oh hell, what's that conference in Europe in August?
Oh
That
boy.
Keeley does for opening night live for. I'm having a brain fart on it, but it's basically. Anyways, I can't think of it.
I I can't think of it, but I understand which one you're talking about because we have talked about that specific rumor.
Gamescom.
Gamescom, that's
Yeah, so
right.
that's that big one. So a lot of people, there was a lot of people thinking that they were going to announce the Switch, the new, or they were going to announce it there, and then come to find out later on was, oh, they were showing it because there's a lot of game devs there in Europe and a lot of people from Japan that were coming there because it's closer. So we come to find out later on that, oh no, they were like, that was like the first time a lot of developers were actually seeing the new hardware, or at least getting an idea of the power and what it could be. So I'm wondering if the same thing maybe where it's like GDC is, it's a game developer conference. Maybe there's probably gonna be a lot of people there. It's the United States, so a lot of people that might be able to get to see it for the first time as well there.
Yeah.
But all you can see, because I don't know. You look at Nintendo outside of the NX, because they kind of had to announce that one. Like they announced it like in 2014, 2015. They kind of had to announce that because like the Wii U was dead obviously by then. It was like, I wonder like how long do they have to like actually like really need to like push this thing? You look at like most of the time it's like what they announced, they revealed the Wii U, I think, at E3, and it was out in November. Um, the Switch they did that trailer for in October. They revealed everything in January, and it was out in March. Um, the Wii did the same thing where the Revolution was at E3. They showed everything at Tokyo Game Show in September, and it was out in
Yes.
November. Um, so I feel like they could probably do the same thing. Obviously, we don't have an E3 anymore, but I'm thinking like if say a thing comes out in September, I mean I don't know, you can, I guess you can reveal it in March. That's about 6 months out. So I don't know, makes sense. You can do the like people doing the mental gymnastics about the Xbox shit. Like worst case scenario, you can do the mental gymnastics to talk yourself into the fact that hey, it might be there. What about you, Gibbles?
You know what? That'd be kind of interesting. I've also heard like the I also checked into the various rumors though about maybe potential reveal in March as well. But I think that barring where we're heading right now, it definitely would be a possibility to where if we hear something in March, like a reveal or like even more rumors about potential what the system is gonna what it's gonna be, what it's gonna look like, because we can go forth and guess kind of like what we would like to see for the actual handheld itself. Because, well, it's if let's just say we do have like an announcement, like say next month March and stuff for like this new console reveal and stuff. I just personally hope that we're not waiting like more than like say 6 months in order to try to play it,
Yeah.
And I'm kind of personally hoping that Nintendo, when they do reveal a system, that not only is it backwards compatible to Switch stuff, obviously, but
Oh, I'm gonna lose my
it
shit if it's not.
Oh, absolutely. A bunch of people will lose their shit with that. But I hope they keep on the same type of route because let's look at the trends that's going on in the gaming industry right now to where some of the most successful gaming systems right now are dockable and playing handhelds. I mean, let's look at that, man. Like how successful the Steam Deck has been and stuff, whether else like
Yeah.
LED and their OLED Steam Deck and stuff, and how so many people love to play that device. Look at all the other type of like other handhelds that
ROG
are like
Ally.
portable PCs and stuff like the ROG Ally.
Well,
That's
and then the
excellent.
PlayStation Portal, like we don't know how much it's sold, but that thing is like selling out as soon as it goes into stock. So
Well,
it's
yeah,
selling.
exactly.
So
Yeah, and that's the Portal. That's something that just
it's
streams
a,
something
yeah,
from
it's a
your
cloud one.
PS5 and stuff.
Yeah,
It's a cloud one. It's not even like a dedicated like game system, say like with like a Switch or even like a Steam Deck, and it's still selling to that extent. There's actually a bigger market than what we've expected in terms of like say handheld stuff to even like rumored like Xbox, PlayStation stuff potentially having their own type of things. But to get back what I was saying, I'm personally hoping that it's more of an elaboration on the current Nintendo Switch, what we do have. Hopefully, maybe they pull some sort of like technical like gymnastics or something like that with Nvidia or who else they were working with in order to
It's
develop the
Nvidia. Yeah.
yeah with Nvidia or something. Because because I personally hope it has something to do with like sort of like upresing type of techniques and stuff with say like with certain AI forces
DLSS.
with yeah like the DLSS stuff. I would love to see that in play because even if they cannot afford to have these specific type of parts to make it like a souped up like say okay you can do like 4K or 60 frames per second and stuff, but having those type of techniques and stuff to make it easier to make it look like that is close or perform to that level for their games that they've had on their Switch for like god for that entire library, and maybe like having it to where if like see you're playing a game like Scarlet and Violet, right, then all of a sudden you put it in this new system and it automatically just improves the performance of this damn
Yeah.
thing.
Like hey, like it actually runs
That
at.
would be amazing to me.
To me, it's like if the new Switch comes out and it just runs at 30, that'd be great. But yeah, like I think like people like I don't know like people were talking about 4K. I wouldn't be shocked if like they like docked its 4K, but I feel like if like really with Nintendo is like if we can just like have a steady 1080 60, I feel like most gamers would be pretty happy with that. I mean for
Absolutely.
maybe not most, but I feel like most like a lot of people that are like understanding. Obviously, you gotta take like the Twitter, the internet people off like that just lose their fucking minds over everything. But I don't know, like
But for the
for like
common everyman, that would be enough for
yeah,
some people to go forth and play like
yeah
that.
for for the people that that dine on pork and beans, those those folks that yeah like or you play with your kids, you just want like 1080 60 like even for me like I love like I'm a sucker for the most beautiful like goddamn games you've ever seen like Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth and Final Fantasy 16 and like Last of Us and shit like that. Like I love those like absolutely gorgeous games, but like I don't know, like Nintendo, like I just have a different expectation for them, and like if they can just give me a stable 60 frames per second and it just runs at 1080, like I'm fine with that. Like honestly, like and if docked, you get me 4K, or even like you can kind of like you do like the fake 4K. I don't know, that's pretty good. Um, that's kind of all I want from them. Yeah, like I think for the most part they know like you're always gonna have that part of gamer that just won't play it because of the way it looks. Um,
Mm.
but like they know like their audience like they're not they're not that's not who they're going for. They're going for you know the every man, the common man. Why are we quoting Dusty Rhodes so much in this podcast? It's so weird. But anyways, yeah, if we can if they're just going for like the ocean. I think they would like the Wii and the DS and all that like. It was just like the blue ocean, like the ocean fat came over. We're like, we're just going for it. We're going for this everything instead of like focusing on like these people and stuff like that. So, and obviously like it's like Pokemon. Like there's always gonna be a new 8-year-old. There's always gonna be new 8-year-olds with you can always create new Mario fans. So and Zelda fans
Absolutely.
and so on and so forth. So, yeah. The next thing Gabe was like obviously I don't think anybody's actually gonna guess the name because it's probably gonna be something fucking stupid. But we know coming off the Wii U, we know more than ever how important a name can be.
Yep.
And I was saying about the other day, Gibbles, like I would love it. We were doing those E3 memories and like rewatching old ones. The next one
Hmm.
we want to watch, we gotta do one here soon. I want to watch the 2012 Nintendo the Wii U reveal one. I don't think we watched that one yet. Uh, I want to
Oh,
watch that one because
oh,
that's a moment I want to go back and watch. Maybe when they reveal it, the new Switch, we go back that week and we watch that old one. But
I think I'd be more inclined to do that, dude.
Yeah. Um, but like we obviously know how important like a name and obviously like they like the Wii at that but the last like couple years of the Wii like people weren't buying games for it anymore. People I think people were kind of over the Wii at that
People were
point.
burnt out at that point.
Yeah. So they totally misread the audience or obviously they're probably or maybe they're just too far into development they couldn't pivot but also maybe they could have pivoted the name. But man like I don't just calling it the Switch 2 would be the easy thing to do. And I know there's gonna be Nintendo fans and a lot of gamers that's just like I don't like that, like I don't love it either, but it's like it's the easiest thing that like like iPhone 16, PS5, or the next Google phone, like whatever. They just go up in a number, and it's like consumers just know like, hey, that's the easiest way to like, hey, this the 16 is bigger than 15, so therefore it's better and it's newer, it's better. Um, I don't think it's gonna happen. I just love either. I don't know if I don't love this one here. There's two I'm with. Switch 4K or um, Super Switch, and I feel like we've been saying Super Switch for years now. But I don't know. I feel like that's just like Super Nintendo Switch. It brings you back to like, hey, like remember the Super Nintendo? Like you can get that nostalgia in there, play in there. Maybe they do like some cool button shit with like, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I because we talk about like say like worst case scenario happens for like Xbox stuff like that where we're just going full third party. Halo's coming, everything's coming. Like PlayStation, all right, PlayStation, like that's, and we were talking about that, all that. I don't want to get into that, but it's not crazy to think that, and I'm not rooting for this at all. Like I love what the Switch is doing. I want to keep going, so on and so forth. But it's not crazy to think that Gables, they can fuck this up. Like
Yes, they
it's
could.
it's not out of the realm of possible. Like who would have thought going at like in 2009, 2010, the Nintendo would go from where they were to like where they were basically for the next like almost decade. So it's not crazy to think that they can royally screw this whole thing up. I don't want that to happen. Obviously, nobody wants that to
It
obviously to them.
happens in the gaming industry more times than you think,
Yeah,
because you'll have one leader that's been the leader for quite a long time. They get too arrogant. They think they're untouchable, and all of a sudden another console goes and takes its place in terms of the top of the leaderboard stuff. But what I'm saying is, like, it's happened before with Nintendo, with the NES, with the Super Nintendo, PlayStation, when that becomes popular and stuff, and Nintendo screwed over a whole bunch of people in terms of their cartridge stuff on the N64, went to everyone, the developers went to PlayStation for the CD-based quality games at that point. PlayStation was a leader for their PS1, PS2. They dropped the ball with the launch of the PS3. Microsoft came in. They had the Xbox 360, a better system than what they had when they debuted with the Xbox and stuff. That was the leader for quite a few years. PS3 finally managed to somewhat catch up with sales towards the end of that cycle, but it was already too late. People synonymously know that like the Xbox 360, that was the hardcore gaming platform of
yeah,
choice. And then
yeah,
the Wii absolutely was the was definitely the number two in terms of like say the in that point of view, but in the casual market, it was the number one up until well the last few years of its life because at that point people got fatigued so much with it.
yeah.
But
Nintendo was losing money. Yeah,
what I'm saying is it's there's so much room to mess up a console launch and there's so much possibilities where you could potentially screw up by having one wrong business decision. It could lead to major success, or it could lead to like sad, like depressing things. Like say Sega getting out of the console market because of the failure of the Dream, because of like the failure of the Saturn and stuff led
which
to an
led to the
excellent system, the
Dreamcast.
Dreamcast, and the
Yeah,
Dreamcast getting pulled like in 2001.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, yeah, I mean, Xbox is still paying the sins of the Don Matrick era, and
Yep.
that he's been gone for a decade. It's like and they're still
Yeah.
trying to fight off that, and like he put him so far behind on that. So and like I said, I'm not trying to be doom and gloom here, but it's not crazy that they can fuck this up. And usually when they fuck it up, it's coming off of like the highest of highs.
Yep.
So yeah, I just yeah, I don't know. I'm like, what, do you like Super Nintendo Switch, or is there like a name you have in mind that you think would work for them?
Hmm.
And they just
You know,
like
I
they
do
did
like the
new.
name like
Go
I
ahead.
do like the name Super Nintendo Switch because I can visualize it to where the aesthetics of the button layout and like the look of the system is reminiscent to a classic system. But if I had to make a if I did have to make like a guess of what the next console's name would be, I think it would probably be something along the lines of something kind of generic, personally. So I would
Mm.
say like the Nintendo Switch, like the Nintendo Switch, not like 4K, but like
Switch
the
U.
Nintendo Switch Next or something
What
like that.
what if it's Switch but with two eyes?
What is it? What if it's a Switch or something with four Joy Cons?
Oh my oh god, yeah. It's like the controller's just a bop it. Uh,
You have two slidable things on the side, and you have two of them on the top and
yeah,
bottom.
yeah. God, it's just a rect. Yeah, it's a rectangle. Good lord. Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, obviously, yeah. I'm just, I don't know. I like I said, I'm just kind of at the point now where it's like I just want to just see the goddamn thing at this point, and I hope it
Yes.
is because I just want to like, I just want to be able to see it, so like I don't have to hear about rumors anymore. I don't have to hear about fucking, like people losing their goddamn mind. And yeah, and like just we can get the ball rolling, see the game, stuff like that, because it's been a lot of years of this like what Switch Pro and what the next Switch when's gonna come out. So uh, at this point, just for my sanity, I just not even I think more for my sanity than the excitement as a fan. I just want to see the fucking thing. Um, let's move on here.